Growing up in England, Bonnie Gale never gave much thought to the whimsical willow structures in her neighborhood, or even the intricately woven baskets her mom used when shopping. After moving to the United States, the absence of these beautiful creations became apparent. So, to share her heritage with others, she started a business that showcases this unique art form.
Willow's actually one of the earliest recorded flowering plants. And from really early on, from mankind time onwards, there was a real understanding of the special properties of willow. So willow's been made for coracles, that's boats, basketry, of course, medicinal purposes. The original aspirin came from willow and has that unique salicylic acid in it. I love the material. It is very special. It has a lot of energy to it. It provides so many useful products, and it's very physically beautiful to work with. It's very nice on the hands. People can grow the material themselves in their own backyard, and they can grow it for the different colors of bark. And so it just allows so many forms of expression in the art world. As a willow artist, I immensely enjoy the functionality of willow.
Bonnie's handmade baskets are not just for display. They're functional as well. Everything from laundry baskets to picnic baskets and even baby bassinets are all heirloom quality pieces. Even something as common as a baby's rattle resembles a piece of folk art when woven from willow.
The baby rattles are ancient in origin. I say 15th century France. The way I make them are with 7 willows. The 7 willows represent the 7 virtues. Inside are 7 pebbles that represent the 7 deadly sins. And the idea with the baby rattle is that the virtues contain and balance the sins, so it's a good luck thing for a baby to have.
Around her home, Bonnie has started making the willow structures she remembered so fondly when living in England. To her, they're like living baskets planted in the ground.
In a way, it's upside down and you put it in the ground, you put the stakes in the ground. So if I describe myself as an artist, it's really about being spatial. It's about containing space. There are probably a lot of plants that you could make living structures with. However, if you've got willow, it's an ideal plant. The reason it's ideal is it's self-rooting. A lot of the rooting hormone powders are made from willow, and willow has a unique ability. If you put some dormant cuttings, small sticks in the ground, they will root themselves. That's what makes it unique. There's an awful lot of plant materials you can't just take and stick them in the ground and they'll grow. There are certainly techniques to it, and when I first started, I was really following materials I had seen in books. And that method I'll call the diagonal method, where I'm basically taking a pair of rods and I'm putting them in the ground at 45 degrees, and I'm putting a whole series one way in the ground and then coming back and putting in that same hole another series going in the other diagonal, and then interweaving them, and then basically doing something with the top, pulling them into a dome or something like that. My recent structures are all with the fedge method. The word fedge is a mixture of the word fence and hedge. It involves 3 parts. The first part are putting vertical rods into the ground at a certain spacing. The second part is to put some horizontal weaver or binder. It's often a pairing weave at waist height. The third part is putting the diagonals in, and the diagonals can go in the same hole as the uprights, or they can go in a hole between the uprights. And they would be woven behind and then in front and behind in front of the uprights. The next part after that is to tie all the live willow together. The reason for doing that is there's a very good possibility that the live willow, where it touches live willow, will graft together, hence making the structure even stronger. There's also the issue of what you do with the top of the structure. If it's just a fence, you need to do something with those upright rods and tie them and cut them into some pattern. You can do any sort of enclosure and structure. And these structures can have a lot of different functions to them. They can just be a visual barrier, as in a fence. They can be domes that can be used as play structures, places for contemplation, tunnels and arbors where someone might travel through them and yet have sitting places as well. These structures are extremely exciting to everyone who sees them because it fits so well with other gardening ideas.
As you can see, these willow structures are fun to make and grow quickly. So, in a short amount of time, you too can have a beautiful living sculpture in your home garden.